Okay, fine. See, just I will not go in detail. Till now we have discussed about inclusive in education, inclusive school, inclusive society, social inclusion, okay, societal inclusion, and also we have discussed about full inclusion. That is completely inclusive. Okay, that is about inclusion. Then afterwards we went for this marginalization, isn't it? What is marginalization? What are the causes of the marginalization and what are the reasons for the marginalization, and generally who come under this marginalization? Like I already we had discussed women, tribes, this caste, this that is elderly people, handicapped people, all that we have discussed. Then afterwards completely now we have shifted to segregation. Isn't it? What is segregation? What is segregated schools? What is segregated education? Which generally what type of students will be in the segregated schools, and who will be the teacher who will be teaching the disabled children having a severe disability? What sort of teacher will she be? Okay, then what type of facilities will be given? What are the advantages and what are the disadvantages of the segregated education also we have discussed, isn't it? That is segregation. Then afterwards what did we discuss? We discussed about integration, I suppose, isn't it? You tell me what is the thing we have discussed?
Yes, ma'am.
What is integration? Yeah. What is integration? What is integrated education? What is integrated education? Then yesterday we had discussed about the 4 types of integration. One is the physical integration, okay, where we are going to conduct programs in such a way that even the disabled children will be a part of the programs, okay, education programs, whatever the curricular or co-curricular, whatever it may be, but there should be a physical integration, means physical presence of both abled and disabled children should be there, okay, such type of program. Then social integration is nothing but where we should use scope for more and more interaction programs, okay, between students who are normal and who are disabled. So that is social integration. Academic integration, we have to see that whatever the resources, whatever the facilities that are being to give, we have to plan in such a way that the students of both categories, normal and disabled, will be a part of that program. Okay, that is academic integration. Societal integration is nothing but in a society, people with the disability should be given equal scope, should be given equal chance, so that they feel that they are also part of the society. So that comes under the societal integration. I said these are the 4 types of integration. Yesterday we had discussed about this. Then what do you mean by integration? I have said, see, just integration means just dumping the disabled children having severe disability with the normal children under the mainstream and giving education is not called integration. It's not called integration. Integration is nothing but not only we are accepting them in whatever the condition they are with all their strength and weakness, but also we have to provide the minimum resources in such a way that the education can be given to them in a better way. We have to arrange a room. We have to give a special room for that for disabled children with all the facilities, and the special teacher will be there. She will teach them depending upon their strength and their weakness after consulting with the general teacher. Just joining the disabled children along, making the students join the class along with the normal children, we are not going to justify the disabled children. In order to make them lead an independent life, in order to make them feel that they are also part of the society, in order to arouse confidence among them, we have to encourage them by giving them all the facilities, resources, opportunities, whatever we are giving to the normal children. Then they have the feeling that they will not feel secluded, they will not feel segregated, they feel that they are also part of the society, they are also part of the classroom. No instruction should be given in such a way that this is meant for the normal children and this is meant for the disabled children. The instruction given by the teacher, she has to plan in such a way that whatever the instruction she is giving, it is to be applicable to both categories of children, that is normal children and children with disability. Any doubts? This is what we had discussed the other day. Doubts?
No doubts.
Okay, fine. Now coming to, I said that there are 3 types of approaches. One is the resource approach, the other one is the itinerant approach, and the other one is the cluster approach. This is very important from the examination point of view. Okay, when I say resource approach is nothing but what happens in an integrated schools. To whatever extent the normal teacher she gives she uses the teaching techniques and the strategies, she may not be able to justify the students. So a special teacher will be there. She will come and she'll take the class after consulting with the special teacher, after consulting with the general teacher. Okay, this is what. So that is the resource. Okay. Now yesterday we had a long discussion. How is it possible? I said a normal teacher who has taken training to teach special students, definitely she will be able to justify. And again, like a special resource teacher will be there who is professional in teaching all sorts of children with disabilities. She will come. She will be appointed by the government. She will visit the schools. She will visit the schools once in a week or twice in a week, and she will take some 2 to 3 hours of classes to all students. Okay, to all students, and she will be teaching different techniques and methods according to the needs of the disabled children. According to the needs of the disabled children, and this is nothing but the itinerant approach. Itinerant approach is an approach where a special resource teacher will be appointed by the government to teach the disabled. She will be visiting. See, she will not be in one school. She has to visit many schools, and she then timetable or schedule will be planned in such a way that she covers almost all the schools, integrated schools. Okay, she may visit one day, once in a week, or she may visit twice in a week. Okay, that is the second approach. The third approach is the cluster approach. Sometimes it so happens that it's not that easy. Sometimes you may not have the resources. Sometimes you may not get the teachers who can teach the disabled children. So at that time, a government has started a scheme or a policy where the teachers who are already teaching in integrated schools, they have to attend 42 days of service training. In-service training, so that they will be able to manage the disabled children along with the normal children in an integrated school. Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, this is what the cluster approach. This is very important from the examination point of view. This is what I said the other day. Now, what is the merit of what do you mean by merits? Merits are nothing but the advantages, pros. Okay. Okay, what are the merits of integration? See, here what happens now? When I say that integration, just compare with the segregation. So segregation, the children will be away from their parents. They will not be able to live with their peer group. They will be away from the society. They will be deprived of all the love and affection of the parents. Whereas in integration, they will be and they will have the same kind of students having the same disability. Okay. So that is one plus and that is minus for them. Okay, they will not have any new thing They will not have any new kind of people. Okay, generally what happens is that every child expects that there is something new, innovative. Okay, and it would be very monotony and it will be very tedious for them having the same routine because they will be observed by the supervisors almost all the time. They will not have the freedom in segregated schools. But when I'm talking, and first and foremost thing, they are supposed to stay away from their parents. And here, what happens when integrated schools? The first advantage is that they will be attending classes along with the normal children. Okay, and also the feeling of that we are also part of the society. That is one, and also they get a chance to stay with their parents. Even children with severe disability will be allowed to will be allowed to join in the normal class under the mainstream along with the normal children. Okay, along with the normal children. So they don't have to go away from their parents. They will be studying along with the normal children. This is the major advantage of integration. And sometimes what happens, already I have said that the feeling of competition, the feeling of competence. So normal, the children with disabilities will get a chance to compete with the normal children. So even what happens is that the feeling of that, I have to do better, I have to prove my worth. So that feeling will make the child boost his confidence. So that is also an advantage of integration. Now, generally what happens, I have said, the society actually accepts people who are talented, who make a niche in the society, who are financially sound, and who are really something, they have certain caliber. So what happens is that generally, and here in the society, the normal person cannot prove his identity at times, and he will not be accepted by the society. Just think about the children with disabilities. So what happens is that this is the chance in the class, where the chance will be given to the disabled children to not only to compete with the normal children, but also to show their hidden talents. So this is a chance, this is an opportunity for the children with disabilities to show their caliber, to show their talent compared to the normal children. So they can show. So generally what happens, society or the teachers, generally they ignore children with disability. Generally intentionally they don't do it. But what happens is that unconsciously or unintentionally, so the disabled children will be ignored by the teacher. And this is the place. This is a right opportunity in integrated schools where children with disabilities will get ample of opportunities to show their caliber. So this is an advantage of integration. And the other advantage we can say that now children with disability will get ample chance, will get good opportunities to move normally with the normal children, okay, and also they tend to know the different ways of society, what the society expects, what the society wants. So they make their adjustments. See what happens, we live in a society, isn't it? See, generally you people stay in your homes according to your home atmosphere, isn't it? You cannot see you come from different families. Even I come from a different family. Okay, we have our own families. See how I live in my within the house premises. You people may not live in the same manner, isn't it? So that is personal. So what happens is that, see, whatever now gender, but that will reflect in the society. A child who is born and brought up in a very good family, easily his attitude, his behavior is easily observed by the society. Did I say yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
మనం ఎలా ఉంటాము, ఇంట్లో ఎలా ఉంటాము అనేది వచ్చి అందరూ చూడడం అవసరం లేదు. మనం మాట్లాడే తీరు, మన బిహేవియర్, అవర్ యాటిట్యూడ్ అండ్ the thing overall our presentation, that itself will reflect the way generally we live in the family. ఓకే, మన ఫ్యామిలీ గురించి మనం చెప్పుకోవడం ఏమో అవసరం లేదు. మనం ఏంటంటే మనం ఎలా ఉన్నాము, మన యాటిట్యూడ్, మన బిహేవియర్, మన ప్రెజెంటేషన్, మనం ఉండే తీరు, అదంతా ఏంటంటే మనం ఎలా ఉన్నాము అని the other person easily he can make out about the background of our family. Okay, in the same manner society will also come to know about the family background of a particular person, because that how the person is, it reflects his family. అండర్స్టూడ్? ఎవరైనా అబ్బాయిని చూస్తే చాలా బాగా మాట్లాడితే వీడు మంచి ఫ్యామిలీ నుంచి వచ్చినట్లున్నాడు, ద బిహేవియర్ బాగుంది, వీడు చాలా రఫ్ అంటే పేరెంట్స్ కూడా చాలా రఫ్, ఈ ఫ్యామిలీనే ఇంత అని అంటామా లేదా? క్యాజువల్ గా మనం మాట్లాడుకుంటామా లేదా? సే సో నో అలాగే. సో ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే ఇక్కడ డిసేబుల్ చిల్డ్రన్ వాళ్ళకి ఏంటంటే, when they get exposed towards the normal children, okay, in the normal class, in the society, so the behavior, the mindset what they have, sometimes what happens, they change their attitude, they change their behavior according to the needs of the society. By seeing the behavior of the normal children, oh, this is what the society is expecting from children, this is what the behavior the society is expecting, and if at all if there is any change is required in them, they themselves will change according to the needs of the society. And that is also one advantage of integrated schools. Okay, and even the feeling of exceptionally can be removed. The integration, the major advantage of integration is the feeling of exceptional, that they are disabled, they are different, and that feeling will go. And let me tell you, మనలో ఏదైనా డ్రాబ్యాక్ ఉన్నా, మనలో ఏదైనా ఫ్లా ఉన్నా, if we accept, if we give chance, if we give encouragement, the person who is having that what is that a flaw or a disadvantage or a drawback, okay, that he will forget and he feel that he is also part of the society. He is also one among them. Okay. And now what happens? The integration lo entante equal scope, equal facilities, equal opportunities will be to the normal children, to the disabled children. Okay. Now here they get an what is a chance to stay with their parents, and also they will not be deprived of the love and affection of their siblings, grandparents, and all the parents. Okay, that is the second one. They get a chance to compete with the normal children. Second one, and this is a platform where the disabled children will get a chance to show their talent. Okay, through performance. You might have come across many blind people are good singers. Many blind people are many blind people are good orators. See, the talent అనేది వీళ్ళకి నార్మల్ లోనే ఉంటుంది, డిసేబుల్ లో ఉండదని కాదు. కానీ ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళ ప్లాట్ఫామ్ దొరకదు. See, what I seen, a lady was traveling in the train, I suppose, I don't remember her name. See, only thing is she was not given the scope. Now she got a chance. I don't know more that who is that Baba, the person, who is that singer, who is that man? See, అలా ఏంటంటే, see, sometimes what happens, the hidden talent, see, no one actually noticed all these years, no one noticed, but now the thing is that she has got a chance now. Okay, now she has become independent. She is actually she was a beggar. I don't know exactly who was she, who is she, I don't know, maybe she was not in a good condition, but now she was a beggar. Now now look at her position. అలాగే ఏమవుతుందంటే every person is talent. Every person has a talent. Every person is talented. Only thing is that every person has got the equal strength. Let me tell you, మనం ఒకరిని ఎక్కువ ఒకరిని తక్కువ అనుకోము. Only thing is that మనలో ఉండే టాలెంట్ ని మనం we don't give the scope to come out. We hesitate. ఎందుకు we hesitate? Because there is no proper encouragement. Okay, no encouragement. More, it may be parents, or it may be the society, or it may be the family, or few restrictions will be there. So అందుకని మనలో ఆ టాలెంట్ ఉన్నా అది బయటికి రాదు. ఇప్పుడు మీరు అందరూ ఉన్నారు, మీలో ఏదో ఒక టాలెంట్ ఉంటుంది, కానీ మనకి ఏంటంటే చిన్నప్పుడు కానీ మనకు ఆ స్కోప్ రాలేదు, ఆ ఎక్స్పోజర్ లేకుండే. Now you might have seen small children, they do dance very well, they do sing very well, because right from the day one they have been given exposure. That phobia is not among them. First and foremost, the drawback in us is that we have that phobia. What people think, what they laugh at me, they'll make fun of me, all such feelings. Which topic approaches who asked this, which topic? This is a normal, I'm talking about the merits of integration. I don't know, someone has put the message. Okay, now this is what about the integration.
I asked, ma'am.
Bhagya, this is not about approach. Already we had discussed about the approach. Now this is the merits of integration I am talking. So what happens if normal
merits of integration? Okay.
See, general what happens is that what is the advantage of making the disabled children to sit and to join along with the normal children? This is the advantage. Okay. Now this, I think you might have understood the merits of integration. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'm going to discuss about the demerits of integration. See, what happens is that sometimes now in the regular class it would be a difficult task for the teacher, keeping in view the children with disabilities. Okay, to teach different types of impaired children in regular classes. I said now, to whatever extent the teacher may be talented, to whatever extent the teacher may have caliber, but in case if it is an integrated school, the normal teacher will not be able to justify the disabled children, because she has not taken training, she doesn't know the techniques and the strategies to teach the impaired children, okay, or the children with disability. So in the regular classroom, now in case if she focuses on the disabled children, then the normal children will be at stake. So this is a common difficulty generally in integrated schools, where in order to justify one group of students, then definitely the other group of students will be neglected. So for that purpose, in a regular classroom under the mainstream, when the normal teacher who has taken training to teach normal students, when she teaches, but only thing is that she has to keep in her mind that her teaching to some extent should be understood and should be followed by children with disabilities, because again a resource teacher will be there, she will be able to manage the concepts, or she will be able to teach the concepts and the other things better to the children with disabilities. Okay, maximum I said now 75% actually will be covered by the teacher, but rest of the thing to brush up the concepts, the resource teacher will be there. Okay. Okay, now the second one, regular teachers can teach only the normal methods for normal children, but the exceptional children does not benefit. That's what I said, the same thing. I said, now in case if any inclusive, the other day I was telling one student was there, Ilaya, simply he used to sit, I never used to even look at him. And okay, he was there, only I could see physical presence was there. Physical presence was there, but never I used to keep in my mind that I have to use any different method to teach that particular student. Let me tell you, and this is what is the fact. Whatever I am telling you is the fact. Okay, because no teacher can pay attention towards children with disability in a normal class, and she will not be having an idea to teach different techniques because she has not taken any training. That is what is that disadvantage? Teacher will look at children with pity and just promote them. What happens? Do you think that handicapped children with disabilities will not be detained because it is against the rule? అయ్యో పాపం వదిలేద్దాం, ఏముంది పాపం వాడికి కనిపించదు, వాడి కాళ్ళు లేవు, వాళ్ళ చేతులు లేవు, వాడు గుడ్డోడు చౌడు దిస్ దట్ అని ఏమనుకోండి, all the teachers will have pity. They will not, they just promote the students from one class to the other class. Okay, this is the feeling, the attitude the teacher have. That is one disadvantage. Okay, teacher may show negligent attitude towards the child. Definitely I said, now I myself actually I was negligent towards that particular student. I know that even at that time I was teaching inclusive for them. Even after knowing all those things, I was not intentionally I may not do it, but I never got a chance to look at that particular person or that student. See what happens, I was more focused, I was busy in taking the class this. So it is difficult. See, intentionally the teacher will not do it, but what happens, unconsciously she will feel pity for that, she will ignore, the child will be neglected unless and until now if he himself has the courage, ma'am I will speak, I know the topic, I want to speak, I will come out. If that feeling is there, then the child will be given the chance. Otherwise, teacher herself hardly she gives chance. Because, tell me, Ramani.
Ma'am, I want to just add one more point, ma'am. Can I?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, actually, from my side, like I have faced one of that, he's somewhat mentally retarded fellow. So the expectations from that kind of child is very less compared to normal children. So if a normal child is giving a relevant answer, we expect more from them. But when it comes to this type of children, if they are giving a small giving a small answer or related answer also, we have to pity and we give marks to them. That's what I feel. I said you will not be able to do justification because first and foremost thing we feel pity. We look at his disability and we feel that at least he is able to do this. That feeling will be there. Even if he has done something wrong, we'll rectify it and we ourselves will give the marks. Okay. Now, what happens is that the knowledge which you want to inculcate among the students, okay, you expect more from the normal students and you don't expect that much from the disabled children. So the feeling of pity, the feeling of negligence, the feeling of the perfection we don't expect from the disabled children, whereas we expect perfection from the normal children. So కొన్ని advantages ఉంటాయి, కొన్ని disadvantages ఉంటాయి. Disadvantages లో ఏమవుతుందంటే టీచర్స్ అన్నోయింగ్లీ ఏం చేస్తారు, వాళ్ళు నెగ్లిజెంట్, ఓకే, వాళ్ళు ఇగ్నోర్ చేస్తారు, వాళ్ళు ఏంటంటే దే ఫీల్ పిట్టి, okay, and they will not actually pay attention in the class towards the disabled child. Okay, one more thing is that whatever the exceptional children or children with disabilities will not be able to get all the facilities that generally a normal children will get in a classroom. Okay, attention from the teacher will be given, will be more towards the normal children compared to the disabled children. Because let me tell you, the teacher is accountable to the parents of normal children, but not to the parents of disabled children.
Yes, ma'am.
No parent will come forward and say that my son is unable to follow your teaching, my son is not doing well, my son is not scoring marks and all. Evaru, the parent of a disabled child. Okay, because the parent himself or herself will have in my mind that my son has certain disability. So she will not come forward to raise. Only thing is that she can request the teacher, ma'am, please pay attention. See, this is the thing now. This is the thing he is doing at home. All these things. Only thing is that she can request the teacher, but she cannot demand. Now, the parents of normal children, they can come and they can ask, why is my son not studying? He is not able to follow your teaching. He is not able to follow the instructions. So all these complaints can be heard by the teacher from the normal students' parents. But the disabled child parents will not come forward to complain regarding their child because they have a feeling that my child is disabled. So they cannot expect perfection. They cannot expect performance, great performance from their kids. Only thing is that they expect that my child should not feel isolated. Now he is also along with the normal children. Okay. Only thing is that he can come and request to the students and the parents that please don't ignore him. This is what they can do. Generally, this is done because the feeling of disability in their kids will be noticed by the parents. Okay. The exceptional children may not get facilities. Okay. There is a problem of labeling. What do you mean by labeling?
Naming, ma'am.
Naming and ఏం చేస్తారు ఇక్కడ?
Highlighting their disability or highlighting their strengths and weaknesses, ma'am.
అదే అక్కడ వాళ్ళు that fellow is blind, that fellow is dumb, he doesn't know, he is not able to do. మీరు బ్లైండ్ లో కూడా కొంతమంది చాలా ఎక్స్ట్రీమ్ ఉంటుంది, వాళ్ళకి అసలు ఐక్యూ ఉండదు, అసలు వాళ్ళకి ఏం రాదు. కొంతమంది దే ఆర్ వెరీ గుడ్. సో అక్కడ కూడా సో మనం ఏం చేసాం, that fellow is blind, he is disabled, he cannot do. So the feeling, that attitude among the teachers should not be there. So they will be labeled. That group itself is different. Even though we include them in all the categories, we give them all the facilities, that definitely the labeling will be done by the society, the labeling will be done by the teachers. Okay, so that should not be done. That is the disadvantage of the integrated schools. Even though we join them, we give them, we include them, but still that feeling in the teacher will be there that they are different. We cannot expect the 100% performance from them. This is the disadvantage of integration. Understood? What is integration? What types of integration approach? What is integration? What is integrated schools? What is integration in education? Then what are the merits of integration and what are the demerits of integration? Everything we have discussed. Now, for example, if I am the class teacher of an integrated school and I am going to deal with the integrated class. Integrated class is a class where normal children along with the disabled children will be a part and parcel of the regular classroom under the mainstream. What is the thing? See, generally what happens is that just children with special needs or differently able children or the exceptional children, okay, children with disability, all means the same. See, the regular class teacher where a child with special needs has been admitted, she should know the student's condition. See, every disabled child is quite different. The strength of weakness of different disabled child will be different. So as a teacher who is taking the integrated class, she has to know the students handicapping condition. We have to know. But generally this is a task for a teacher. A normal teacher, only she can say, this fellow is good, this fellow is below average, this fellow is above average, he is excellent. So, generally a teacher, by looking at the child's performance, we can easily make out that what is his capacity, okay, what is his performance. But when it comes to the children with disability, it becomes a difficult task for the teacher because every child is unique. Every child has different disability, and every disabled child has got different characteristics. Understood? The attitude, the strength and weakness of blind will be different from dumb and deaf, will be different from mentally retarded, will be different from the other, handicapped children. So, the teacher has to study the characteristics of the child having particular disability. Did you get my point, what I mean to say?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఏమున్నామా, మీరు నార్మల్ క్లాస్ ఏంటి, కొంతమంది బాగా చదువుతారు, కొంతమంది ఓకే, కొంతమంది చాలా బాగా చదువుతారు, కొంతమంది చాలా బాగా చదువుతారు. ఏంటంటే మనం నార్మల్ చెప్పొచ్చు, హీస్ గుడ్, ఓకే, హీస్ నార్మల్. This easily the teacher can notice. Okay, but what happens is that children with different disabilities, it is a task for the teacher to study the characteristics of the child having such disability. I said na, the attitude, the behavior of a handicapped child will be different from a child with mental retard, with dumb and deaf or with blind. So the teacher has to know the common, what are the characteristics of dumb and deaf children, what are the characteristics of the blind. You don't have to write any thesis, you don't have to do any survey, but generally once you have to, generally class it would be easy for the regular class teacher. Okay, now and if you cannot expect, among disabled children you don't expect the same performance from all children having different disabilities. Do you accept?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me. You don't expect the outcomes. You don't expect the same outcomes from all the children having different disability. Now I can expect now the expected outcomes from your side is common. What am I expecting from you is common to all the students. Okay, but when it comes to the children with disability, the expected outcomes differs from child to child with different disability. Do you accept or not? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Every child differ in disability. No, ma'am.
That's what I said. అందుకని అక్కడ ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ అవుట్కమ్స్ అనేది వేరే ఉంటుంది. సో దట్ ఒక టీచర్ కి ఏంటంటే పెద్ద టాస్క్ ఏంటంటే, ఓకే వీళ్ళు ఇంతవరకే, అంటే ఈ అబ్బాయి ఇప్పుడు బ్లైండ్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు, ఓహో వీళ్ళు ఇంతవరకే, డమ్ అండ్ డెఫ్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు వీళ్ళు ఇంతవరకే. అది ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ అవుట్కమ్స్ అనేది చిల్డ్రన్ విత్ డిసబిలిటీ అది కామన్ ఉండదు. వేరే నార్మల్ చిల్డ్రన్ కి ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ అవుట్కమ్స్ అనేది కామన్ ఉంటుంది. లలిత ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ ద థింగ్. సో వాట్ హ్యాపన్స్ జనరలీ ఇప్పుడు ఇంకోటి ఏంటంటే క్లాస్ టీచర్ ఏం చేయాలంటే, ఇఫ్ ఏమైనా వేరే టెక్నిక్స్, ఇప్పుడు నేను టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ డిసేబుల్ చిల్డ్రన్, సో యాజ్ అ క్లాస్ టీచర్ ఐఎమ్ సపోజ్ టు మేక్ యూస్ ఆఫ్ ద టెక్నిక్స్ అండ్ ద స్ట్రాటజీస్. ఓకే, and I have to see what sort of facilities can be given to the students so that they will be very independent in the classroom. They don't have to depend on other students, like providing a wheelchair, okay, and any other special methods, okay, so that in case see it is what sort of difficulties the child faces in the classroom is generally known to the class teacher. So she has to see that the facilities that are required for the teacher, for example a different bench, arrangement of the different bench for the students, arrangement of the wheelchair, and sometimes a ramp. ఓకే, ఇప్పుడు హ్యాండిక్యాప్ కాళ్ళు చేతులు లేని వాళ్ళకి వీల్ చైర్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేయడం, దెన్ వాళ్ళకి డిఫరెంట్ ర్యాంప్, డిఫరెంట్ వాష్రూమ్స్, ఒక లైబ్రరీకి వెళ్ళడానికి వేరే దారి. సో ఆల్ దీస్ ఫెసిలిటీస్ షుడ్ బి గివెన్. ఓకే, meet the special education teacher to ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే, I said that every child is unique in when it comes to the disabled child, and expected outcomes would be different. And what happens, it would be a very difficult task for the teacher to know the strength and weakness of the differently abled children having different disability. I said na, dumb and deaf will have different strength and weakness, blind will have different strength and weakness, and it is the duty of the teacher to know the strength and weakness of all kinds of children with different disabilities. Okay, now we have to see that arrangements in the classroom should be made in such a way that it would be easy for the children with disabilities to adapt themselves in the classroom. Adapt ante enti?
అలవాటు చేసుకోవడం
అంటే ఏంటి, ఇప్పుడు మనము వాళ్ళకు ఇబ్బంది ఇవ్వకుండా వాళ్ళ డిసెబిలిటీని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని మనం క్లాస్ రూమ్ లో వాళ్ళకి ఫెసిలిటీస్ ఇవ్వాలి. అంటే కాళ్ళు సరిగ్గా లేదు వాళ్ళకు, సరిగ్గా కూర్చోడానికి రాని వాళ్ళకు, సో వాళ్ళకి ఏంటంటే మనం సెపరేట్ గా ఒక ఫర్నిచర్స్ అలా డెస్క్, ప్రాపర్ డెస్క్ అరేంజ్మెంట్ ఇవ్వాలి. అంటే వాళ్ళకి ఇన్కన్వీనియన్స్ ఉండదు, కూర్చోడానికి ఇబ్బంది ఉండదు, రావడానికి పోవడానికి ఇబ్బంది, అలాంటివన్నీ మనం ఫెసిలిటీస్ ఇస్తే ఏమవుతుందంటే పిల్లలకి ఒక రకంగా ఎంకరేజ్మెంట్ అవుతుంది. క్లాస్ రూమ్ లో కూడా మనం ఏంటంటే మనం వాడే టెక్నిక్స్ కానీ మన స్ట్రాటజీస్ కానీ వాళ్ళని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని, టీచర్ నేను చెప్తున్నాను, ఇంటిగ్రేటెడ్ స్కూల్స్ లో నార్మల్ టీచర్ కి చాలా పెద్ద టాస్క్ ఉంటుంది. నార్మల్ స్టూడెంట్స్ కి చెప్పడం పెద్ద టాస్క్ కాదు, కానీ ఇంటిగ్రేటెడ్ స్కూల్స్ లో డిసేబుల్ చిల్డ్రన్ ని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని చెప్పడం పెద్ద టాస్క్. ఎందుకంటే when the children with different disabilities attend the classroom, normal classroom, the teacher has to be aware of the strength and weakness of all the disabled children, and she has to know the outcomes of expected outcomes of each and every disabled child. Already I have said that the expected outcomes of different disabled children will not be common. She has to know the strength and weakness. She has to consult the special teacher who is having an idea about the strength and weakness of the disabled children. అర్థమైందా? బ్లైండ్ వాళ్ళు వేరే ఉంటారు, డమ్ అండ్ డఫ్ వేరే ఉంటారు. సో ఇవన్నీ ఏంటంటే కొంచెం ద టీచర్ హ్యాస్ టు హ్యావ్ అన్ ఐడియా. సో దట్ ద ఫెసిలిటీస్, ద టెక్నిక్స్, ద ఫర్నిచర్, వీల్ చైర్, ఇవన్నీ ఏంటంటే ఇవన్నీ ఫెసిలిటీస్ ఇచ్చామంటే స్టూడెంట్స్ విత్ డిసబిలిటీస్ వాళ్ళకి ఏంటంటే దే గెట్ మోటివేటెడ్, దే గెట్ ఎంకరేజ్, దే feel like coming to the school. If any disability is there, then definitely that will hinder, that will be a hurdle for the children with disabilities to attend the school. Okay. సో వాట్ హ్యాపన్స్ నౌ, మనం క్లాస్ లో మనం ఏదైనా ప్రొసీజర్, ఏదైనా మనము టెక్నిక్స్ ఫాలో అయ్యేది మనం ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళని దృష్టిలో పెట్టి చేయాలి. ఓకే. అండ్ అపార్ట్ ఫ్రమ్ దట్ మనం ఏంటంటే no teacher should have a feeling that she is not accountable to the parents of disabled children. If she has that feeling, what happens, do you know that she is not doing justice to the disabled children. వాళ్ళు వచ్చి ఉట్టి కూర్చోడం, బొమ్మలా కూర్చోడం, వాళ్ళని మనం పలకరించకపోతే, వాళ్ళని క్వశ్చన్స్ అడగకపోతే, వాళ్ళకు ఎంకరేజ్మెంట్ ఇవ్వకపోతే, వర్డ్ ఆఫ్ అప్రిసియేషన్ ఇవ్వకపోతే, ద ఫీలింగ్ ఆఫ్ ఐసోలేషన్, ద ఫీలింగ్ ఆఫ్ సెక్లూషన్ విల్ బి అరోస్డ్ ఇన్ సచ్ స్టూడెంట్స్. సో అందుకని మనం ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళని కూడా మనము we have to, the teacher has to include them in each and every session. When she is asking questions to normal children, she has to ask even few questions to the disabled children. So when she asks simultaneously to both the students having with different categories, the feeling of oneness will be aroused among the disabled children. Okay. Now what happens is that now after giving all this, మనం పేరెంట్స్ వచ్చిన తర్వాత మనం పీటీఎం ఉంటుంది కదా, పేరెంట్ టీచర్స్ మీటింగ్ ఉంటుంది. మీ అబ్బాయి ఎందుకు ఇలా చేస్తున్నారు, ద టీచర్, now what is happening in the life of the disabled children will be known when the parents meet teachers. So few things the teachers, what they don't know about the child will be, they gather the information regarding the child from the parents, and sometimes even the parents will not be aware of the behavior and the attitude of the disabled children. So even at times even the parents will be get an idea about their child's performance కానీ attitude కానీ. సో ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ ఫీడ్బ్యాక్, జనరల్లీ వాట్ హ్యాపన్స్, మనం ఏంటంటే డిసేబుల్డ్ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు దేనికి పనికి రారు, వాళ్ళు ముందు సక్సెస్ కారు, వాళ్ళ లైఫ్ ఎంతే అని అనుకుంటే మాత్రం మనం ఏం చేయలేం. కానీ పేరెంట్స్ కొంచెం పాజిటివ్ యాటిట్యూడ్ పెట్టుకొని, పాజిటివ్ అప్రోచ్ చేసి, ఇఫ్ ద టీచర్ హెల్ప్స్ ద చైల్డ్, లెట్ మీ టెల్ యూ, ఈవెన్ ద డిసేబుల్డ్ చిల్డ్రన్ will lead a very independent and comfortable life. But only thing is that continuous feedback, where the child is going wrong, what is the problem with the child, what sort of teaching techniques or what sort of facilities will make him to do better in the studies. Okay, so all these things, if it is observed by the teacher and if it is observed by the parents, then collectively if they support the child, let me tell you, even the disabled children will definitely lead an independent and lead a comfortable life. Okay, understood?
Yes ma'am, yes.
Now you don't, now already I have told that, see, what you are expecting, the outcomes you are expecting from the normal children will not be same when you compare the disabled children. So here what happens is that evaluation data to assess the attainment of the goals and to set new goals, just as the teacher, the regular teacher and other staff members have specific roles to play for. See, what happens is that even the disabled children వాళ్ళకు కూడా ఒక గోల్ ఉంటుందమ్మా. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనకేమో పెద్ద బ్రాడ్ గోల్ ఉంటుంది. See, normal students will have a broader goal. Okay, whereas the disabled children will have they may not have the same goal, కానీ మినిమం అంటే అదే గోల్ దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకున్నా ఇంతవరకు వచ్చినా చాలు. అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఒక డిసేబుల్ చిల్డ్రన్ కి ఏంటంటే మనం స్టేజ్ బై స్టేజ్ ఇంప్రూవ్మెంట్ అసెస్మెంట్ చేయాలి. We can't expect overnight that the child has to do this, the child has to do that. See, now once one minimum first goal will be there, which will be set by the teacher with the help of the resource teacher, with the help of the staff members. Pratidi, let me tell you, the major task in the integrated schools is that the conditions, the strength and the weakness of all the disabled children should be familiar with to all the teachers who are taking the class, and also to the staff members, and to some extent even the other normal children should be familiar with the strength and weakness of the disabled children, so that they can help them out. Miru chinnappudu miru classrooms lo you might have observed, normal classroom lo where no disabled child is there, the teacher, in order to boost the confidence, in order to improve the performance of the normal child who is an average child, now you might have observed that he or she will be made to sit beside a child who is very bright, who is very good in academics.
Yes, ma'am.
అవునా కదా? ఏంటంటే మనం ఇప్పుడు యాజ్ అ పేరెంట్ మనం అడుగుతాం, ఎక్కడ నువ్వు ఎవరి పక్కన కూర్చుంటావు, ఏ బెంచ్ లో కూర్చుంటావు అని మన పిల్లలు అడుగుతాం. నువ్వు ఏ బెంచ్ లో కూర్చుంటావు, ఎవరి పక్కన కూర్చుంటావు, ఆ అబ్బాయి ఇలా, ఆయనకి ఎంత వస్తుంది, హౌ మచ్, వాడు ఫస్ట్ అంటే వెరీ గుడ్, వాడి పక్కనే కూర్చో. అండ్ వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఇంటెన్షన్ ఆఫ్ సేయింగ్ దట్ నువ్వు వాడి పక్కనే కూర్చో, నువ్వు మంచిగా చదివే పిల్లలతో కూర్చో. వై వాట్ హ్యాపన్ యాక్చువల్లీ, వాట్ వుడ్ బి అవర్ ఐడియా ఇన్ మేకింగ్ when we say that you have to sit only beside that fellow who is first or who is second or who is good in academics? What would be our intention?
Because the influences, ma'am. Because the peer group influences them a lot.
That's the thing. That is the advantage. How normal children ke we expect that our child should sit beside the good students who are good at academics, who are good at behavior and all. And in case if we feel any change in the attitude in our child, we see evar pakkana kuchuntavu, chaala maatladutunnavu, this that anagane we request the class teacher to change his place, because the impact of the peer group will be more okay. So alage manam entante ikkada as a class teacher manam em cheyali, goal untundi, అందరికి గోల్ ఉంటుంది, నార్మల్ స్టూడెంట్స్ కూడా గోల్ ఉంటుంది, డిసేబుల్ చిల్డ్రన్ కూడా గోల్ ఉంటుంది. కానీ ఇక్కడ గోల్ ఏంటంటే మనం వీళ్ళకు నార్మల్ స్టూడెంట్స్ కి ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ అలాట్, కానీ డిసేబుల్ చిల్డ్రన్ కి అంత ఉండదు. సో ఫస్ట్ ఒక గోల్ సెట్ చేసిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ఇప్పుడు ఒక గోల్ సెట్ చేసి when it is achieved by the students, when they reach this goal, then definitely they will move forward. Again a new goal will be set. So this is how, at any cost you don't expect the expected outcomes of normal children and the disabled children will be same. ఓకే, అది కానే కాదు. మనము కరికులం సేమ్ పెట్టుకున్నాము, టీచింగ్ టెక్నిక్స్ అందరికి, కానీ మనకి ఏంటంటే వీ డూ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ దట్ ఇది ఇంత వీళ్ళు అచీవ్ చేయకుండా అట్లీస్ట్ ఇంతైనా వీళ్ళకి వస్తే చాలు, ఆ ఫీలింగ్ ఉంటుంది. సో దట్ ఇంతైనా వస్తే చాలు ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ దట్ ఈస్ ద గోల్ సెట్ బై ద టీచర్స్. లెట్ దెమ్ హ్యావ్ దిస్, లెట్ దెమ్ లెర్న్ దిస్, టిల్ హియర్ లెట్ దెమ్ లెర్న్, దెన్ ఆఫ్టర్వర్డ్స్ okay we'll make a different goal for disabled children. This is the attitude and this is actually the procedure we frame for integrated schools. Got it? Understood?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, now I have told you the merits and demerits, different approaches, and okay, now everything I have told. Now let me see what is the thing. The role of the class teacher, how the class teacher should be. But even you might have seen the government and the NGOs, they are trying their best to help the children with disabilities. Even the government has started all the schemes and all. Still you see that most of the parents, they don't send their disabled child to the schools. Okay, enrollment of the children with disabilities is very less. Okay, see, integration could not succeed in terms of enrollment. Inta manam integrated school start chesamu, inclusive school start chesamu, segregated school start chesina, you see that all the policies and schemes which has been started by government and non-government agencies, but still you could see that integration undi anta undi, but still what are the drawbacks? Still enrollment of children with disability is not up to the mark. It is not up to the mark. Still the parents, they have a different attitudes that it's of no use making the disabled child to learn something to go to the school, because by making the child to go into the school, they have a feeling that the child will suffer more if he goes to the school. ఇది ఏంటంటే పొసెసివ్నెస్ ఆఫ్ అ పేరెంట్ ఎవరికైనా ఉంటుంది. మా అబ్బాయి స్కూల్కి వెళ్తే దీంతో ఈ డిసబిలిటీ స్కూల్ పోతే అందరు నవ్వుతారు, అందరూ ఇంకా చాలా కష్టపడతారు, వద్దులే ఏదుంది, let him stay at home. So for that purpose you could see that there is a decrease in the enrollment of the disabled children. And even the person, you cannot, I give a lecture on this inclusive practices, inclusive this, that, but still you cannot change the perception. See, what we preach, we don't practice. What we preach, we don't practice at times. Many people, they give a big, a long lecture regarding this inclusive children with disability, this, that, but still let me tell you, most of the teachers have different perception regarding the education of the disabled children. They have a different perception. ఎంత నేను ఇంత చెప్పినా ఎక్కడో ఒక ఫీలింగ్ ఏముంటుంది, అందరిలో ఒక ఫీలింగ్ ఏముంటుంది అంటే, ఎంత చేసినా there is a difference between the normal children and the disabled children. వాళ్ళిద్దరిని మనం ఒకే దృష్టితో చూడలేము. This is a drawback. Okay, ఇంత గవర్నమెంట్స్ ఎంత ట్రై చేసినా, గవర్నమెంట్ ఏజెన్సీస్, నాన్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఏజెన్సీస్ ఎంత ట్రై చేసినా, ఎన్రోల్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ ద డిసేబుల్డ్ చిల్డ్రన్ ఇంత 100% లేదు. The perception of the teachers and the perception of the towards other people, okay, normal people towards the disabled people or disabled children, you cannot change. Still you could see the change. Okay, acceptance and respect by teachers and police. See, we don't accept అంటే వాళ్ళ క్లాస్ లో ఉన్నారు, ఓకే, వి యాక్సెప్ట్ ఇట్. కానీ మనం ఏంటంటే ఎక్కడో ఒక ఫీలింగ్, వీ హ్యావ్ ఎ ఫీలింగ్ దట్ నో, దీస్ పీపుల్ కెనాట్, దే ఆర్ డిఫరెంట్, దే కెనాట్ బి వన్ అలాంగ్ విత్ ద నార్మల్ చిల్డ్రన్. అండ్ ఈవెన్ ద పీర్ గ్రూప్, even the feeling of the disability, okay, peer group will also have a feeling, oh, he is disabled, so he can't be one. మన డిస్కషన్ లో వాళ్ళని ఇంక్లూడ్ చేయము, మన యాక్టివిటీస్ లో వాళ్ళని ఇంక్లూడ్ చేయము. సో దిస్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో వాట్, ఇంత చేసినా, ఇంత లెక్చర్ ఇచ్చినా, ఇంత నేను వాళ్ళ గురించి చెప్పినా, స్టిల్ ఏంటంటే టీచర్స్ యాటిట్యూడ్ కొంతమంది చేంజ్ అవ్వలేదు, పీర్ గ్రూప్ యాటిట్యూడ్ చేంజ్ అవ్వలేదు. సొసైటీ ఆల్సో does not accept in the sense what, he will be a part of the society, but he will not be given importance and his voice will not be heard because he is disabled. That disability will hinder in all the activities. Okay, the collaboration of teachers for providing quality education to such children, okay, leadership of head teachers, involvement of parents, all this, what happens is that here this is a drawback where sometimes the parents will be the hurdle, sometimes the teachers will be the hurdle, sometimes the society will be the hurdle, okay, then sometimes even the community will be the hurdle. Okay, so the trend at present is therefore directed towards inclusive education. Inta chesina ippudu entante, now you might have observed, in the past you might have observed that hardly countable students having disability used to go to school. But now after the introduction of the inclusive education, segregated school, integrated school, even though still there are few drawbacks, but still you could see some improvement. Now the parents' attitude has changed, facilities have been developed, the government is giving them ample of facilities and the opportunities. So at least 80% of the disabled children are being admitted in the schools, and remaining 20%, they are still, you could see that they have some hindrances or the hurdles to join in the schools. Is it okay? Understood?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
understood. Yes, ma'am. Everyone, now if you have any doubts, you can ask regarding this, because I have to start with the this one. Inclusion. See, again inclusion, oh my goodness, I don't. Yeah, tell me.
No doubts, ma'am.
See, same thing. Baba. What is inclusion? My goodness. See, inclusion in education is an approach to educating students with special needs, okay, along with the non-special needs students. Inclusion rejects the use of special schools. My goodness. Inclusion rejects schools or classrooms to separate students with disabilities from students without disabilities. Inclusion and overall inclusion and anyone?
Including everyone.
Yeah, Sima, tell me. Including everyone. Yeah. Who is included? Who is included?
Disabled persons, disabled children and the normal children.
Inka? Still?
Ma'am, including the normal children along with severely disabled children is called, not severely, partially disabled children is called inclusive in normal school.
Now don't get confused with the what is that difference between the inclusive schools and integrated schools. Integrated schools లో కంపల్సరీ ఒక స్పెషల్ రూమ్ ఉంటుంది, రిసోర్స్ టీచర్ ఉంటారు, స్పెషల్ రిసోర్స్ టీచర్ వస్తారు. whereas in integrated normal inclusion అంటే ఏంటి? See, children with disability will be made to sit along with the children with non-disability under the what is that mainstream. There will be no special classrooms for them. There will be no special teacher. The normal teacher has to teach them. Okay. ఇక ఎంత డిసబిలిటీ ఉంది అనేది మనం అక్కడ పెద్దగా ఇది ఉండదు. దట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ద క్రైటీరియా. బట్ ఇంక్లూజివ్ స్కూల్స్ లో ఏంటంటే యూ డోంట్ ఇంక్లూజివ్ స్కూల్స్ యూ మే ఫైండ్ it's not that difficult task because you don't have to have the resource room, you don't have to have this resource teacher, you may or you may not have it, it's not compulsory, and you don't have to have the special resource teacher who comes once in a week to give guidance and regarding this teaching techniques and all. Okay, the school, inclusive schools have to run only on the regular teachers making use of the different strategies according to the needs of the disabled children. Okay, according to the needs of disabled children. So inclusion in education is nothing but children with disabilities will be made to sit along with children with non-disabilities under the mainstream. Under the mainstream, there will be no special class, there will be no special room, and there will be no special teacher teaching them. A normal teacher will take the class. That is inclusion in education. Okay, segregated and completely segregated schools, special teacher, then away from the parents and everything. ఇంటిగ్రేషన్ అంటే ఏంటి? ఎంత సివియరిటీ ఉన్నా వాళ్ళని కూడా మనం నార్మల్ స్టూడెంట్స్ తో నార్మల్ టీచర్ విల్ టీచ్, బట్ రిసోర్స్ టీచర్ విల్ బి దేర్. షీ విల్ బి హ్యాండ్లింగ్ ద disabled children under the guidance of the general teacher, and even special resource teacher will be there. Resource room will be there. Okay, making use of all the electronic gadgets, and based on the deficiency of the child, the resource teacher will teach the concepts to the disabled children in a better way. అర్థమైనా? ఇంటిగ్రేటెడ్ స్కూల్స్ కి ఇంక్లూజన్, దీనికి ఇంటిగ్రేటెడ్ స్కూల్స్ అంటే రూమ్ ఉండాలి.
Ma'am, I've been listening about this inclusive and integrated schools. My doubt is the rules and regulations are applicable only for the government sector, or any private schools can follow this?
They can. ఏమవుతుందంటే, కానీ ఇప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే, when it comes to the private organizations, generally they will not run all these integrated schools and all. See, it's not that easy, because in integrated schools you need to have a resource room. Inclusion అనేది ఉంటుందమ్మా. Inclusion అనేది even private schools you might have come across children with disability and కొంచెం polio attack అని, that's not a big task, because
disabilities I have come across, ma'am. The thing is how far they are protected in private sectors.
See, private sectors, no, they are accountable.
Okay.
They are accountable.
Because they are accountable to the parents.
They are accountable to the parents, and even the teacher is accountable to the parent, the teacher is accountable to the management. మీరు అక్కడ ఏంటంటే ప్రైవేట్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ లో sometimes what happens is that అంటే accountable to what extent, since you are asking about the security and all, they are accountable. కానీ you don't expect the same outcomes from the what you are expecting from the normal child. You don't expect the same thing from the disabled child. In case if the disability is very minor, you can expect. Because as a parent, you know, as a parent, the parent knows what kind of disability the child has. Okay, so మన అబ్బాయి మన అమ్మాయి ఇంతవరకు బాగానే ఉన్నాడు, no, he is able to study well, he is able to focus అన్నప్పుడు you can go and ask the parents, you can go and ask the teachers.
Yes, ma'am. When they set up the school, like, you know, the school where, in which I am working, they have a special educator. They have appointed one teacher, a special educator. And when the CBSE affiliation was being done, they also showed this special educator, like, you know, that they have a special educator. And they have shown infirmary, all these things they have shown, ma'am, in CBSE inspection.
అవునమ్మా, ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే ప్రైవేట్ గవర్నమెంటా?
ప్రైవేట్ సెక్టర్ మ్యామ్. అయితే నేనేమని అడుగుతున్నానంటే, అన్ని స్కూల్స్ ఇలా చెయ్యాలా? ఆల్ స్కూల్స్ ఇది వాళ్ళకి కావాలి అంటే, అఫిలియేషన్ కావాలి అంటే, లేదా రికగ్నిషన్ కావాలి అంటే ఫాలో అవ్వాలా, లేకపోతే అవసరం లేదా?
అవసరం లేదు. అంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఇన్క్లూజివ్ స్కూల్ అని మీరు ఇన్ కేస్ అది అండర్ దట్ బ్యానర్ మీరు సర్టిఫికేట్ తీసుకోవాలంటే, మీకు ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ దిస్ అప్లికేషన్, అప్పుడు మీకు స్పెషల్ టీచర్ ఉండాలి, రిసోర్స్ టీచర్ ఉండాలి, స్పెషల్ క్లాస్ రూమ్ కూడా ఉండాలి. ఇప్పుడు మనకి ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ ఎలా ఉంటుంది, ఇప్పుడు మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద స్కూల్స్ అండ్ కాలేజెస్ వాళ్ళకి ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ ఎలా ఉండాలి, ప్లే గ్రౌండ్ ఎలా ఉండాలి, ఇన్ని క్లాస్ రూమ్స్ ఉండాలి, స్ట్రెంత్ ఎలా ఉండాలని ఎలా ఉంటుందో అది నేను ఏం చెప్తున్నానంటే, in case మీకు affiliation, if you are running a private organization, if you want to run an inclusive school, then if you want affiliation, if you want to run it as take it as an inclusive school, then you should have a resource teacher, you should have a special educator, and also you have to have all the facilities that are required for the disabled children, and even you should have a resource room. Then what happens is that easily you get the affiliation. The inclusive school, even sometimes what happens, you will be getting funds from the government.
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
నార్మల్ ఇంక్లూజివ్ స్కూల్స్, ఇప్పుడు నార్మల్ స్కూల్స్ లో కూడా డిసేబుల్డ్ చిల్డ్రన్ ని మనం we can take them. This is only inclusive education. But మనం అక్కడ ఏంటంటే ఇది inclusive school అని కాదు. అంటే if you want to take the school affiliation under inclusive school, then you have to show all these things to the government to take the affiliation. కానీ ఇప్పుడు you might have come across, మనం నార్మల్ క్లాస్ రూమ్స్, మనం నార్మల్ స్కూల్స్ లో కూడా you might come across many children having disability. But do you have any resource teacher? Do you have any special educator? Do you have any resource room to teach such students? No. They have to run the show. They have to adjust with the normal teacher. And let me tell you, they generally government schools లో ఏమవుతుందంటే అక్కడ వాళ్ళు పెద్దగా అకౌంటబుల్ ఉండరు. అండ్ ఇక్కడ ప్రైవేట్ దాంట్లో ఏంటంటే ఇవన్నీ మనం ఫెసిలిటీస్ పెట్టిన తర్వాత డెఫినెట్లీ దే చార్జ్ గుడ్ ఫీ ఫ్రమ్ ద పేరెంట్స్.
Yes, ma'am.
ఎందుకంటే because special educator is not that easy to get, resource teacher will be not that easy, you don't get it. Resource room, maintaining a resource room అనేది పెద్ద టాస్క్. అందుకే మనకు రిసోర్స్ రూమ్స్ అనేవి చాలా తక్కువ ఉంటాయి. అవి ఇవన్నీ పెట్టాలి అంటే అది ఒక ఏంటి లార్జ్ స్కేల్ పైన ఇట్ హ్యాస్ టు రన్. అంత ఈజీగా ఏంటంటే రిసోర్స్ రూమ్ అంత ఈజీగా అయితే దే విల్ నాట్ అరేంజ్, బట్ డెఫినెట్లీ రిసోర్స్ టీచర్ విల్ బి దేర్. Now you might have come across, it is compulsory that to get the CBSE affiliation, teacher, every counselor should be there. No, they have made it compulsory. The counselor should be there. So that the students having different attitudes, the students having some attitude problem will be counseled by the concerned teacher over there. అలా అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే ఇది మస్ట్ అయిపోయింది. ఇప్పుడు ఇవి నార్మ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఒక స్కూల్ కి అప్లికేషన్ కావాలి అంటే ఇవి ఉండాలి అనేది నార్మ్స్ వచ్చేసాయి. ఇప్పుడు ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు కౌన్సిలింగ్, మన దాంట్లో కౌన్సిలింగ్ అంటే పేరెంట్స్ కౌన్సిల్ చేస్తారు, టీచర్ కౌన్సిల్ పెద్ద డిఫరెంట్ గా. అండ్ హూ ఇస్ గోయింగ్ టు కౌన్సిల్? ఓన్లీ ద టీచర్, ద పర్సన్ హూ హాస్ కంప్లీటెడ్ MA or MSc సైకాలజీ. వాళ్ళు ఏంటంటే దే నో ద యాటిట్యూడ్, వాళ్ళకు సైకాలజీ, దే బట్ హావ్ స్టడీ ద సైకాలజీ ఆఫ్ డిఫరెంట్ స్టూడెంట్స్. సో అలా, సో ఇట్స్ కంపల్సరీ. అండర్స్టూడ్? రిసోర్స్ రూమ్ అనేది చాలా కాస్ట్లీ అఫేర్ నాన్న. ఇట్స్ వెరీ ఎక్స్పెన్సివ్, వెరీ 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 ఎక్స్పెన్సివ్. అండర్స్టూడ్? Any doubts? ఇంకా ఏదైనా ఉంటే you ask it. See what happens is that when you discuss that few things, the few areas which you might have not covered, మీరు కొన్ని ఏరియాస్ మనం అవునా ఇలా కూడా అవుతుందా అనేది ఏంటంటే ఓన్లీ త్రూ డిస్కషన్ ఇట్ కమ్స్ నో. లేదా ఏమవుతుందంటే నేను చెప్పింది మీరు వింటారు, అదే పర్సెప్షన్ లో వింటారు. కొంచెం మీరు కూడా ఏంటంటే హౌ ఇస్ ఇట్ పాసిబుల్, వై ఇస్ ఇట్ పాసిబుల్, వెన్ ఇస్ ఇట్ పాసిబుల్ అని ఆలోచిస్తే యూ గెట్ గుడ్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఓవర్ ద పర్టికులర్ టాపిక్. ఇస్ ఇట్ క్లియర్?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Means today Sangamitra has come, Bhagya has come, Usha has come. Today Om Prakash did not turn up in the morning.
He was there, ma'am.
He's available.
Where is he?
He's there, ma'am.
Hey, where is he, man?
He is there in the session.
Not to be seen. నాకు కనిపించడం లేదు ఓం ప్రకాష్.
He have to unmute, ma'am.
No, he is there. Yeah, he is there. Now I'm seeing the list. Now he is there. Yeah, okay, fine. Now shall I wind up?
Yes, ma'am.
Because now the topic which I start on Monday is completely same thing, inclusive, but again we have what are the rules, what are the regulations, what are the hurdles and all. Now did you follow? Do you have any confusion regarding this inclusion and the integration and segregation and marginalization? Anyone? You have to be very open. When I'm asking you a few things now, you have to be very open. Ma'am, we have followed this, we have not followed this. Ma'am, it is this little bit confusing. Ma'am, this, that. You have to come out with your views.
Ma'am?
Yeah,
ma'am, this is Sangeeta. Besides normal and disabled children, even inclusion includes gifted children. Because it is written here in the paragraph. This includes disabled and gifted children. Page number 32, ma'am. Inclusion, new topic.
New topic.
1.2.
0.3.
1.2.3. Here it is written this should include disabled and gifted children apart from this normally abled children. Gifted children also will be there in inclusive schools?
Everyone will be. No, actually, what do you mean by gifted children?
Ma'am, prodigy, ma'am, exceptionally good child.
With
High IQ level, ma'am. High IQ level. So before we did not read about this. So in this paragraph, I came to know about this.
No, I think I haven't started the link. No, did you start? No, I did not start, no?
From the beginning, we are learning about inclusive schools and inclusion, no, ma'am. So this one I just came to know. Gifted children also will be included in inclusion schools.
Yeah, definitely. See, now you have no separate school for gifted children. You have no separate school for this. What is that? As normal school will have all sorts of children. Normal children ki, gifted children ki enti IQ level lo teda.
Yes, ma'am.
Ante kada. So okay, every class will have. And ఇప్పుడు gifted children are only few.
Yes, ma'am.
So you cannot take away. The only thing is that you have good scope. And ఇప్పుడు gifted children కి వాళ్ళకు
లెవెల్స్ ని మీట్ అవ్వాలంటే కొంచెం వాళ్ళకి స్పెషల్ ఫెసిలిటీస్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేయాలి కదా మ్యామ్. నార్మల్ బిసైడ్స్ ఏబుల్ చిల్డ్రన్.
అవునమ్మా, అవును. అది ఏంటంటే స్కూల్ వాళ్ళు కాదు, స్కూల్ వాళ్ళు ఏం చేయలేరు అక్కడ. మీరు అలా చేస్తూ ఉంటే మీరు ఒక టీచర్ ఎన్ని క్లాసెస్ తీసుకోవాలి? నార్మల్ చిల్డ్రన్, డిసేబుల్ చిల్డ్రన్, గిఫ్టెడ్ చిల్డ్రన్ అలా కాదు. ఏంటంటే ఆ ఐపీ లెవెల్ ని దృష్టిలో పెట్టుకొని ద చైల్డ్ హ్యాస్ టు మూవ్ ఆన్. Of course, ఏంటంటే for the purpose, what the school will do, children with what is that IQ level more gifted children, they will be given more scope to go, to move to the higher level of different writing different exams. Okay, they will interact with the higher different organizations. Okay, స్కోప్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది, వాళ్ళకి ఎక్స్పోజర్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది. అండ్ ద పేరెంట్స్ దే హ్యావ్ టు టేక్ ద ఇనిషియేటివ్. ఇఫ్ అట్ ఆల్ దే ఫీల్ దట్ their child is gifted, they have to give them the scope. But in classroom you cannot segregate the normal child, disabled child and the gifted child. Every child, all the categories of children will be under the same what is that, mainstream in the school, in the classroom. అక్కడ ఏంటంటే గిఫ్టెడ్ అంటే మనము ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళకి స్కోప్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది, అందుకని వాళ్ళకి ఎక్స్పోజర్ ఎక్కువ ఇస్తారు. స్కూల్ ఫ్రమ్ ద స్కూల్ దే గివ్ గుడ్ ఎక్స్పోజర్ టు ద చైల్డ్, బట్ డోంట్ ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ దట్ అగైన్ ఇట్ విల్ బి డిఫరెంట్, టీచర్స్ విల్ బి డిఫరెంట్. ఓకే సార్,
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Any doubts? Okay. See you on Monday.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. I shall let you know the timing.